Welcome everyone, my name is Brendan Snyder. Thank you so much for joining me. This is New Music Finds episode number 23, and it's where I like to collect together all the new music that I've purchased over the past week and present it to you. It comes from local record stores, online retailers, Amazon, eBay, and more. My new music finds for this past week include 4 new music releases, 1 back-ordered new release, 1 recent release that I just hadn't gotten around to buying until now, 2 rare eBay finds, 1 used gem, and 1 Japanese import. So I got 10 things to run through with you. But before we dive into all that, if you are new to my channel and you haven't already hit the subscribe button, please click the button. Also leave a comment, hit like, all those things help support my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And of course, as an added bonus, by subscribing, you'll be able to stay up to date on all that's going on in the world of music, just like this with New Music Finds episode number 23. And kicking things off as we always do, we start with the new releases. First one up being Yngwie Malmsteen, Parabellum, just came out on Friday, July 23rd. 22nd solo album, 10 tracks on this one. Interesting though, 4 with vocals and 6 are instrumental. For those of you that worry one way or the other, it is Yngwie singing on it, although I think he does a fantastic job. I know a lot of you would rather him bring in an outside vocalist like he had done with Rising Forest and stuff in the past, but he is singing on it. As I said, I think he does an excellent job, and this is a fantastic one. This is actually one of the deluxe edition box set version. It's a clamshell that opens, if I can get it open, there you go, like so. CD's right on top, and it is a standalone disc. I'll flip through that in just a second, but it comes with a lot of goodies in here. You get a bunch of guitar picks in here, and it's kind of interesting because they're not just loosely floating, they're actually in something that states that it's Yngwie. There are 2 coasters in here as well, same on both sides of that, and 1 postcard and a sticker. So kind of interesting. You get some little goodies and things of that nature, and then of course the CD and a digipack itself, and then booklet in here as well. And so, it's cool photos and stuff, lyrics and things of that nature. As I said, it's just 4 songs that have lyrical content, so not a lot in the way of booklet in that regard. But cool little package for it. And as I said, I think it's a really good album. And, Yngwie back to doing the great shredding and everything that he was doing before he did the last album, the one that's the blues-influenced album, which was good, but different. This one here is back to 10 originals by Yngwie. All right, next up we've got Dream Theater, a dramatic tour of events, board mixes, also July 23rd. This one here, it's part of the new Lost Not Forgotten Archive series. This is one of the new ones in the series that they're releasing, because they're re-releasing old archival stuff that was from the official Dream Theater bootleg series. But this one here, one of the new ones, a curated selection of live performances between 2011 and 2012 on that tour. Originally only available digitally. Of course, now we're getting a vinyl and CD version of it. And if you are interested in the vinyl, it is limited edition to 250 copies. So definitely run out and get that if you're interested in it. All right, next up, Jackson Browne, Downhill from Everywhere, also July 23rd, 15th solo album from him, but first in 7 years, so it's been some time. 2 previous albums were sort of more solo acoustic introspective affairs. This one here is much more of a full band sound to it, like his 80s and 90s output. So for me, it's a welcome return and a really good album, one of his best ones in some time, in my opinion at least. Okay, and then next one, also from July 23rd, Paul McCartney 3 Imagined. This one here is the physical CD edition of it, because it was available digitally for I think the last 3 to 4 months or so. I sort of held off on listening to it until I could get the CD edition, just so that I could really sink my teeth into it and enjoy it. What it is though, it's a reimagining of the 2020 album that he did called simply McCartney 3, and again you can see it there in the background. But this one here is reimagined with his fellow artists and friends doing these selections from Paul. In some cases it works absolutely brilliantly, especially when they leave Paul's vocals up front and they sort of build and work around it. But in some cases they've done complete covers of the songs where at least Paul McCartney is not listed as having been part of it, so it looks like it is a complete re-recording. Those, in my opinion, don't work nearly as well. There's only 2 of those on here, so out of the 12 tracks, 10 of these are built around Paul's original vocals and music and so forth, but have that modern take on it as these other artists do. And then 2 of the tracks are covers on it. So good, definitely worth checking out, but it's not the typical Paul McCartney flair sort of stuff. It is definitely modernized by these reimagined artists. Okay, next one is one that had been back ordered for me due to COVID and production delays and things of that nature. Buckcherry, Hellbound. It actually came out on June 25th, so just getting it here. 9th studio album by these guys. I was super excited for this one because it's the first one to feature new guitarist Billy Rowe from Jet Boy, and you can see Jet Boy's first 2 albums there on top. Really great, late 80s, early 90s. I could still call them a glam band, but they were more in the punk rock vein than a straight up glam band. Good stuff nonetheless. Again, the album's produced by Marty Fredrickson, who's worked with them in the past, had some hits with them, but this one here is much more pop rock sound to it, and definitely more radio rock friendly than I've heard on recent releases and stuff. So it's good, it's catchy, it's fun, it's short, but it is definitely much more pop rock than some of their harder stuff. Okay, and then the next one is still a newer release, but I hadn't picked it up at the time. Didn't think I was going to be interested in it, but then with the passing of Robbie Steinhardt, I wanted some additional Kansas, so I picked this up. Point of No Return, Live and Beyond. Came out May 28th. So this one here, disc 1, features a great selection of deeper cuts, and I didn't know this at the time. I probably would have gotten it right away if I'd really looked into it. Features songs like Cold Gray Morning, which comes off of Freaks of Nature from 1995, and Musicato and Taking the View off of 1986's Power. So it's got some cool deep cuts on that first disc, and then the second disc is Point of No Return played in its entirety. Plus it's got 4 bonus tracks on it, and of course their biggest hit, Carry On Wayward Son. This is performed on that as performed so that they can close out the show. But for me it was an absolutely surprising, great live album full of energy and everything that I really wasn't expecting. I mean, I knew it would be good, but this one here was just exactly what I needed at the right moment. Maybe due to the passing of Robbie Steinhardt, but good nonetheless. And if you haven't checked it out, I do highly recommend it. All right, then I got 3 items from eBay. First one up was a used gem here. Jimmy Barnes, Freight Train Heart, 1987 release for him. 3rd solo album, of course, from the former Cold Chisel frontman. And, he also recorded albums with Living Loud, which is a supergroup that featured Steve Morse from Deep Purple and the Dixie Dregs on guitar, and Lee Kerslake from Ozzy and Uriah Heep, and then Bob Daisley from also Ozzy and Uriah Heep as well. And they were doing Ozzy-era songs from the first 2 Ozzy albums, and then some original material mixed in with that when they did that. Interesting release. Didn't get a lot of push at the time and kind of ran under the radar, but very good. And then Jimmy Barnes, he's also recorded in the first album with the Dead Daisies, who have certainly become more popular with John Corabi and then with Glenn Hughes in the lineup. But first singer was Jimmy Barnes. So good stuff there. And he's certainly done a lot of other things over the years, including recording a song with INXS that was really great. If you don't know him though, great Australian vocalist. Okay, next up, a couple, rarity items that I found, and I talked about not being able to find a CD copy of this, and I decided to give it a little harder hunt, and I found one. DiAnno, self-titled release from 1984. This one here, debut solo album from the former Iron Maiden frontman at the time, Paul DiAnno. Definitely a much more radio-friendly, rock-sounding album than the typical Iron Maiden flair, but good nonetheless. Definitely great having his vocals over that sort of stuff. And then another one that I picked up, Samhain, November Coming Fire from 1986. 3rd studio album from the Glenn Danzig fronted group. Of course, 1987 he would form his namesake band, Danzig, at that point. This one here is the 2001 reissue on Imagine Records. So pretty cool. It is remastered and everything, and definitely worth getting a hold of. They came out and went out of print so fast on it, really hard to come by. Of course, you can see I've got the box set in the background, but you know me, I love my jewel cases, and this happens to be my favorite Samhain, so I just wanted a standalone copy of that one with the art and everything. Okay, and then the final one that I picked up was a Japanese import from Patrick Simmons, Arcade, 1983, debut solo album from the guitarist of the Doobie Brothers, you know, the classic rock legend guitarist that he is. Also features fellow Doobie Brothers members guesting on it, like frontman Tom Johnston and also frontman, different era of it, Michael McDonald. So they're both on here. And John McPhee, fellow guitar player. Cool thing is, I didn't know this, track number 3, Don't Make Me Do It, is actually written by Huey Lewis and the News. And I know I got a bunch of Huey Lewis and the News fans out there, so I don't know if you knew that, if it's a straight cover and or if it was written and given to them. But 1983, really good track, one of my favorites on the album. Do check that out if you're interested. And there you go, guys. That's my New Music Finds, episode number 23, 10 CDs of new releases, rare gems and imports for you guys. Hope you found something interesting to research and all of that, or it sparked your memory on something to go pull something you've got in your catalog out. Don't forget to check the description for links to related videos, and of course check back every Wednesday for new episodes. All right, everyone, take care, have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all real soon. Bye, everyone.